Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are sitting here, extremely hungover, in the backyard of down at Torquay, with zero phones, with zero knowledge. Oh, we got a combined phone percentage of less than 20. So this is going to be the most riveting podcast you'll hear in a little bit. Nick Henricks, welcome.
Thank you, Angus. It's good to be here.
You might have to speak a bit louder into the mic.
It's good to be here. It's not really good to be here. I feel terrible.
We're doing this potty out of obligation.
Yeah, just making sure that it's
rather
consistent.
than enjoyment, because we're both here in a world of hurt. We've cracked open our first beer for the day.
Yep.
We're heading to a festival later. We had a massive night last night. What did we do last night, Nick?
We got written off, but Palfrey loves tits. So
We've got a Jack Watts lookalike in the league, and I tell you what, he heard about it last night and this morning. In fact, everyone bloody at Palfrey about being Jack Watts. Very funny. And his super coach team is a bit like Jack Watts. Bloody shit. Everyone's team's shit.
yeah, not too many good scores this week thus far.
Yeah, there's already been a few games. What we had Thursday night, 2 Friday games. I didn't even realise there was another game on
I
Friday.
didn't realise there were 2 games yesterday.
I thought it was all about the Dons, and what a performance by them. It was all about the Dons, because we're looking like we're going to win the premiership. Go the Dons. Trades. We'll talk about trades. Were there trades this week?
Yeah, there was some trades this week.
There was some
I'll
trades.
get up the trades, actually, because I'd forgotten them. So the completed trades. Can't find it. Process waivers.
No, not waivers. Trades.
Process trades.
Go completed. So, completed trades last week. We got a few.
There was some big trades actually last week.
Um,
So me and Andy did a trade. Caleb Daniel for Tom Lynch. I think I got a steal there. Tom Lynch from Richmond. Inconsistent. He's a big forward. Unless he kicks a big bag snags, it's hard to score well. Caleb Daniel playing as a free backman.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of hoo-ha about that trade at the time.
Yeah,
I think
it was.
there's a few of it, myself included, who
ripping
couldn't
him off.
believe it. But then some people explained it, and it was. But that's the beauty of trades, hey?
It is the beauty of
Because
trades.
people view players in very different aspects, and I don't know what I'm saying.
You'll say that you'll see that a bit later if we look at my trade with Tyler. There was a bit of heat about this. I copped a bit of stick.
Yeah,
and,
what was that? Well, run us through that one again.
Pendlebury, I gave him Pendlebury for Dane Rampy. I was desperate for a backman. Now, Rampy's been averaging 92.3 over the last 4 rounds, which as a backman's pretty solid. His low score is 81. His highest score is 103. So it's relatively,
It's just a nice
it's
save.
relatively consistent.
And
However, I have cost myself a little bit with my midfielders lacking. I put in Redden into the side and took Pendlebury out of the side, obviously. Redden last week having 145 and this week having 46. So that's hurt a little bit. And considering Pendlebury had
Yeah, at 112 or something.
112 or 110 and now averaging 93.8. So,
But I don't mind it, Nick, that trade you did. I think it's better for your team. I think you got a better ranked backman that
did.
you got
yeah.
a midfield, you know. He's going to be higher in the backman rankings than Pendlebury will be in the midfield. So I think, yes, you're losing points there, but in terms of your backline,
Hopefully
it's
it works
better.
out.
Could work out. We don't know.
There's another trade, Tyler and Andy. Andy giving up Franklin, who's looking in all right form if he can kick it through the big sticks. But he's looking quite mobile for Parrish as a forward mid.
Parrish he picked up off the waivers.
He did. And
So
he's almost gotten Franklin for free.
well played.
Incredibly well done on Tyler's behalf to convince Andy. Andy doesn't need a lot of convincing. I've done a few trades with Andy. It is easy to trade with Andy.
It's very confusing people trading with Andy because I sent him a message once and he didn't even reply to me.
I have
Ah,
traded with Andy 2 or 3 times now.
Andy, Why won't you reply to my messages? Reply to my messages, Andy. I wanted to make a trade.
All right. The next trade was Hazardous and Kappa. Now, this was probably the second biggest trade of the week, I reckon. Kappa giving up Witherden for Westhoff and Marshall. Now, Witherden played quite well on the weekend. I think Witherden's a classy defender. Westhoff can go into the ruck for Kappa now. His high score of 149, but his average is only 71. So
Yeah,
he has those low games.
The Hoff came out with a bang
Mm.
and has been shit since.
Yeah, he's been no good.
So I think, honestly, Kappa's starting to overtrade.
No, but Rowan Marshall's incredibly good.
I think Kappa's just trade hungry, and it's going to get to a point where he's going to make his team worse than what it should be because he just wants to keep trading.
Look, I don't think
so.
think
I
Kappa's in a
hope
pretty
Kappa
good
keeps
state.
trading because it's getting out of control. He's got 6 forwards in his team.
Yeah,
He's got 6.
I need a forward, but he's trying to stick too much. I get nervous trading with Kappa. He's got all the intel. He knows all the stats. So he never loses a trade, that's for sure. The biggest trade of the week.
And what a trade it was.
It was a huge trade. Lockie Neal from Angus, from Miller and Nat Fife. Now, I think Angus has won that trade. Well, obviously Neal had his first bad round. But I think Angus has won that round. If you have a look at it, Nat Fife is only going to score maybe or average 10 points, probably lower than Neal.
If
at all. I mean, Neal's had obviously an absolute flyer. But Nat Fife's just incredibly consistent. And Miller is also a good defender, averaging 95.5. Low score of 82 and high score of 109. So, look, I think you've really done well there, considering your team's not good, Angus.
Yeah, he came out. Jake came out and he wanted a big fish, and I said, if you're gonna get my big fish, which is the biggest fish in the sea at the moment, you're gonna have to give me a just as big fish that is not maybe going as well as he was. Fife hasn't been setting the world on
He's been
fire,
playing pretty consistently,
but
he did get his head knocked off.
and then he got KO'd. So I think just all the timing worked out well for me, and I pick up a defender as well. So,
It was a
but
handy trade
if
for you.
Neil can keep up 140s, I mean, it's a win for both of us, really.
I mean, it's a good trade. It's a good trade on both ends. I think
It's a bloody game-changing trade.
Jake's
That's
picked
what
up-
it is.
Jake's picked up a good, consistent midfielder. That's probably the running hot man, apart from obviously at the weekend. So what did Neil have? Neil had 91. He was averaging significantly higher. His average at the moment through 4 rounds is 146.
It's not bad, hey? It's fucking ridiculous.
Fucking stupid.
That 170-point week really pushed it up, but he's not going to keep doing that.
He's had a high score of
Brisbane are dropping off.
177. And
I
a
think
low
it's a
score of 127.
Bloody brilliant trade by myself.
It's
and
a good pickup on your behalf, dear Angus. You've done quite well, I think. But Lockie Neal, obviously, incredibly consistent. Jake's given up a defender. His defenders are now Burton, Simpson, and Johannesson. So he's given up probably his D1 and his M1 for Neal. So an interesting trade.
Yeah. I mean, he's an idiot, but I'll take it.
I don't think idiot.
Nah, not an idiot.
He's hunted.
I think I won, but he has the depth to do it. So he wanted to chase a few more extra points.
We'll go through this week's matches and then.
Should we just who won last week? I
can tell you it wasn't me, so that's for sure.
I'll tell you who it was. Me, back to back, baby. I'm going for 3 in a row. Yeah, boy.
We'll go through the games. So Kappa, obviously, just incredibly consistent. 12:43 against Matt, who also quite strong, but just not strong enough at 11:28.
I love that Matt is in America and just as chirpy. It's great. Good on you, Matt. And he'll listen to this. And I hope America's good. And I appreciate the level of commitment.
Now, Matt really backed Mundy for the last couple of weeks and, was trying to palm him off. He was thinking about palming him off or putting him in trades, and I wasn't really interested in him, but Kappa's been trying to chase him, allegedly. He comes out last week and hits 151. That's huge.
You take that.
Especially as a forward. If you can have a forward hitting 150, you're in killer straits. But Kappa just incredibly consistent. His
Yeah.
lowest player having 51, but when Cripps as a captain, 338 as a skipper is. You're not going to lose too many games with your captain having 338. So
That man's going to be very hard to beat.
he's going to have to have an off week in the finals, really, or he's going to have to,
But
as you
I
said,
think
overtrade.
overtrade. Kappa the trader, as he's known as in the industry, and be interesting.
The next game was Harry, Aluka Island versus the Mumford Sausages.
Oh, the
Thailand.
Sossos.
So Harry has pulled out a really good score of 12-21.
Whew.
You're going to win majority of games in the 1200s. If you're in the 1200s, like the consistency of Kappa, Liam's also been quite consistent. Palfrey's been quite consistent in the 1200s. They're going to be hard to beat. So Tyler only having 1,006, a low round for Tyler.
1,006. You're not going to win a round.
He did have a pretty handy bench though. Rampy 98, Parfitt 98, McDonald 80, and Berry 96.
Rampy, your boy.
Rampy, I've picked him up, so I back him. I back him in. He's also had his ruckman go 35, which hurts, and his captain Lloyd consistent 218, Sloan 88. He just had some low numbers. He didn't really get any massive scores, so just not a good week for Tyler. The next game was Jake versus Palfrey, the old Browns cow.
Browns, cows.
Now,
Now Polf is
This
doing
is
really well.
probably the match.
That was a
That's
cracking
probably
match.
the match of the round. 1,247 versus 1,232. What's that? A 15-point loss in the 1200s. That is a huge game. They've both had massive, massive round, and unluckily for Jake, has lost out like 15 points. So
What a game.
that's a fucking huge game, and it all came down to the last round as well.
It hurt. That could be Jake bloody doing those trades to,
Yep.
you know, he had
Well,
got in five. He got in
he got
five.
Fire on the bench. He has Nat Fife on the bench, Toby Green on the bench, Martin on the bench, and Tui on the bench, all not playing.
And if
So-
he hadn't, maybe if he hadn't made that trade to
Yeah,
get Fife and a few of those figures from Matt, he might have had a win.
He's thinking long term.
He's still put up
He's still put
1,200
up a ridiculous
points.
number, 1232, and with Fife to come in, Toby Green to come in, Dusty Martin, who's got to hit some form when he comes back from suspension, and Zach Tui as a defender. He's got some fire. To Paul's credit again, he had Seb Ross on the bench have 133, McCluggage have 85, Fiorini have 93. He just had that much consistency, so just very impressive.
Well done.
Great match.
Good game.
Then, who are we moving to next? We're moving to Liam versus myself.
Oh,
Now, this was a putrid game from both Liam and I.
what was the score there? It was
1,013 versus 1,024.
oh,
So
that is an ugly game.
Liam
of
and
fantasy football.
I have had a horrendous round. Liam had a 0 on the field.
But you know
His
what?
ruckman had a 0.
That's all you need
So-
is a bloody win. Good on Liam. He got over, scraped through. It's a week by week format, and he gets the W. That's
Mate,
all
I'm
that
not happy
matters.
with it. You get when your F1 has 39. Tim Kelly as an on-baller has 39 points. You can't be winning anything with that. You can't.
Can we?
We're gonna move on.
We're talking
I've
about.
again on the bench. I've been dominated by the fucking bench every round. I've had 145 on the bench. I've had 103 on the bench. It's a fucking joke.
Hilarious.
We're moving on. Next round. Can't fucking deal with it.
Oh, I reckon we're talking about my game, aren't we?
We're talking. No, we're not.
Chill killer.
We've got Hazardous as donkeys versus the Gresham goats. Hazardous. That's two terrible.
How did Gresham play?
Gresham 1,156.
Now, how did Gresham play?
Gresham the goat had 85.
85.
So
decent.
not too bad. He was pretty good in the later minutes. But Hazardous, mate, you started so strong at the year, and you've had 902.
Oh, 902.
He's had 902.
Is that the worst score of the round? Oh, no.
And,
Andy probably has had maybe a low one. Has anyone been in the 800s, or is that the lowest score?
I'd say that's probably the lowest score.
Oh my God.
Even Andy's been in the thousands every week.
Nick Lee.
And You got
Take a
nothing to
look
blame
at
here,
yourself, you
Hazardous,
fucking mug.
because you didn't even have a 0 on the ground or anything like that. Liam had a 0 and still beat you. You've just on his bench 109, 111, and 119.
Nick Lee, sort your shit out, mate. That is disgusting. And you drafted your team. I don't know what's going on, mate.
You need to lift that, Hazardous. That's not good.
But Steve, he's ticking over. He's
Steve,
getting a few wins.
1,056. Steve's
We'll have a look
had
at the
a
ladder
few,
after this.
had a
But
few wins on the trot, so he's sitting alright. He doesn't. Steve loves trading for shit, though. He loves giving Kappa players for packets of chips. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of incentive in there, I reckon, other than the league, because Steve's giving up some absolute fucking heat.
But to his credit, he's still putting up decent scores.
He's putting up all right numbers, but
And-
he's giving away Max Gorn. He's
I know.
the number one pick of the entire draft.
Actually, this is something you wanted to address, isn't it?
Polfrey wanted to address this,
The
but
Polf,
he's having a surf. But
Polf wanted to get on here and tear shreds into Steve.
we're not happy with your trading, Steve. We're not happy with it. There's something about Kappa that you two have got something sorted out. You're splitting the money or something because you're picking up players and you're just giving them to him for shit. So
You know what? Kappa hasn't transferred me. This is how arrogant the bastard is, because he said the money's coming back to him anyway. So, oh, hey, Michaela and Sammy. We will pause this, maybe. No, actually, we're recording a podcast. We'll be with you shortly.
you need to sit inside for a minute.
Unless you want to sit here and listen to our podcast. Come, welcome.
No,
No, they're out at the moment. And should we'll whip through the...
Yeah, we'll rip through. Angus beat Andy, 138.
I'll tell you what, I
138.
didn't put up a good score, but I got the win. That's all that
Another
matters.
shit round.
1,038 points. I'm on the 3 in a row train this week, and I'm excited.
So we'll go to the live ladder. Kappa undefeated. Steve goes into second. Polfrey, Liam, Angus, Harry, Jake, Tyler, Hazardous, Matt, myself, then Andy.
All right, everyone's coming in the backyard here, so
They're too busy.
we'll wrap
They're
this
logging
up. There's just one game that really matters this week, and it's Nick v Angus, and we are it's gonna be a close game.
We're off to a flyer.
You've had a big captain score. All right, see ya, everyone.
No, I watched